She gave us hope on screen, but lived in fear off it. Loved by the world, but rarely loved by herself. Judy Garland's life forces one question. What happens when a dream factory destroys the dreamer? Judy Garland was not just a singer or an actress. She became the voice of longing in American cinema. Millions remember the girl with the trembling voice asking to go somewhere over the rainbow. But behind the treasured music lies a darker truth, a lifetime of pressure, heartbreak, addiction, and the impossible pursuit of perfection. How did one of America's brightest stars become one of its most tragic stories?
Early life and family background. Born on June 10, 1922, in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, Judy Garland came into the world as Frances Ethel Gum, the youngest of 3 daughters. Her parents owned a small theater, and music filled the house like air, constant rehearsals, stage lights, applause from small-town audiences. Judy began performing at just 2 years old. Childhood was talent mixed with pressure. Her mother was determined to create stars and pushed her relentlessly. School was secondary. Stage came first. Shows, travel, costumes, rehearsals. She wanted love and normalcy, but applause became her substitute. Growing up on the road meant she learned to smile on cue, hide insecurity, and chase approval. Even as a child, she had a voice full of longing, as if she already understood heartbreak long before she ever experienced it. Talent was her gift, but it was also her cage.
First steps, struggles. Hollywood noticed her early, yet even in her first auditions there were problems. She was too short, not pretty enough, not glamorous. Studio executives compared her cruelly to other child stars. Judy dreamed big, but entered an industry that treated children like products. At 13, she signed with MGM, a studio known for creating stars and controlling lives. They gave her diet pills, sleeping pills, and strict schedules. A teenager was forced to live like a machine. Every insecurity was magnified, every imperfection criticized. She worked long days, barely sleeping, surrounded by adult decisions she couldn't escape. Sometimes she sang with joy. Sometimes she cried alone in dressing rooms. Judy wanted freedom, but Hollywood wanted profit. With nothing but her voice and a dream, she stepped into a future no one believed she could survive. Yet she kept going, unaware of the emotional cost waiting ahead.
Breakthrough moment. Everything changed in 1939 when Judy Garland, only 16, landed the role of Dorothy Gale in The Wizard of Oz. The film became an instant American classic. Somewhere Over the Rainbow would become one of the most recognizable songs in history. Overnight, she transformed from a struggling teenager to a national treasure. Newspapers called her the girl next door with a voice from heaven. But success brought chains. MGM demanded perfection. They controlled her image, her voice, her body. Judy received praise, awards, and adoration, yet behind new fame sat old insecurity. The world saw Dorothy, innocent, hopeful, dreaming of home. Judy saw a girl trapped behind studio contracts and expectations she could never meet. She had made history, but she was already paying for it in silence.
Peak career and achievements. In the 1940s and 1950s, Judy Garland became the queen of American musicals. Meet Me in St. Louis, Easter Parade, A Star is Born. Her voice was radiant, her presence electric. She wasn't just performing, she was living emotions audiences couldn't describe. Her concerts sold out, her films dominated, and her image became part of American identity. Judy didn't just entertain, she comforted people through war, uncertainty, and change. She won Golden Globes, Grammy Awards, and a special Oscar. Critics said she had something no one could fake: sincerity. When she sang, audiences felt she understood their sadness. She set a standard that future performers still measure themselves against. Judy Garland redefined what it meant to be a musical icon. She was not glamorous perfection, she was emotional truth.
Personal life and challenges.
Behind the spotlight, however, Judy Garland lived in constant torment. Hollywood's control over her body and life led to addiction. First pills to keep her awake, then pills to help her sleep, and others to numb the pressure. She married multiple times, searching for stability she never found. She wanted love, safety, and a place to rest, but fame followed her everywhere. Mental health struggles haunted her, anxiety, depression, breakdowns. She worried about money even when she was famous. She feared abandonment even when adored by millions. Judy longed for childhood innocence she never had. She gave her voice to the world, but rarely received peace in return. Her heart was oversized, her sensitivity overwhelming, and every personal wound became another reason to sing with longing.
Personal life and challenges. Behind the spotlight, however, Judy Garland lived in constant torment. Hollywood's control over her body and life led to addiction. First pills to keep her awake, then pills to help her sleep, and others to numb the pressure. She married multiple times, searching for stability she never found. She wanted love, safety, and a place to rest, but fame followed her everywhere. Mental health struggles haunted her, anxiety, depression, breakdowns. She worried about money even when she was famous. She feared abandonment even when adored by millions. Judy longed for childhood innocence she never had. She gave her voice to the world, but rarely received peace in return. Her heart was oversized, her sensitivity overwhelming, and every personal wound became another reason to sing with longing.
Later years, decline. As years passed, contracts disappeared and finances collapsed. Hollywood abandoned the child it built. Judy tried television, live concerts, even comeback tours, but stress and addiction created instability. Audiences saw flashes of brilliance, those unforgettable moments when her voice cut through time. But behind the scenes, she was exhausted, fragile, fighting for survival. She was hospitalized repeatedly. Relationships fell apart. Critics whispered about failure. Judy Garland, the girl who once represented hope, now struggled to stay alive. Fame dimmed, replaced by tabloid headlines and fear of being forgotten. Yet even in decline, she still moved audiences to tears. She still held that magic, flickering like light fading at sunset. Legacy and symbolism. Judy Garland remains, even today, the ultimate American musical legend. She represents the beauty and cruelty of fame, the cost of talent, and the danger of pushing children into stardom. She opened conversations about mental health and the dark side of Hollywood long before anyone dared speak of it. Her voice continues to heal, inspire, and remind people of hope during painful times. Every generation discovers her anew, feeling the same emotion people felt decades ago. Judy isn't remembered for perfection, she is remembered for authenticity. She turned suffering into art. She turned longing into a universal song. Her legacy lives in every performer fighting to be seen and every person searching for a place over the rainbow.
Closing statement. Judy Garland's story is not just one of celebrity success. It is a story of vulnerability, hunger for love, pressure, and survival. She became a symbol of dreams and a warning about the cost of chasing them. Her voice still echoes across American history with a message that is both comforting and heartbreaking. Hope is fragile, but it never disappears. Judy reminds us that even legends break, and yet pieces of their brilliance remain to guide us long after the applause fades.